What are the hottest markets in the United States in order to wholesale real estate? In today's video, I'm going to talk about some of the hottest markets based on a recent report from Realtor.com. They do an annual report just looking at a particular area's growth, median price, and how many people are moving into this specific city. They also look at supply, just like new construction, houses being sold in that area, and the demand in a specific zip code or city. And so in today's video, I'm actually going to drill into this report. It was from the Quicken Loans website, and they were able to pile all this information together in an article so it can make it very easy for us to read and just to know which markets are a lot of buyers flocking to and which areas are potential investment locations where investors can go in, flip the property, hold a rental, and just supply more housing in those areas. Right? Because looking at these areas is key for us to understand where investors are buying to flip properties or to hold rentals in order for us to go in that area, wholesale the heck in a specific city so we can provide value, provide housing and opportunities for investors in these hot areas. So before we go on, be sure you all like this video, subscribe, comment down below. And before we go on, you all, I want to ask you all, which are the top 5 cities you think will be on this list? I'll wait a few seconds, just type it down below in the comments down below. So I'm going to share my screen with you all now, and I'm just going to read this article and we can discuss it together. Let me know you all's thoughts. And yeah, the top 15 hottest markets in 2022. All right, so I'm on the Quicken Loans website, the top 15 hottest real estate markets for 2022. And as you can see here, they got all this information from Realtor.com, their 2022 predictions. They kind of based it off of everything that's happening, the pre-pandemic, people moving back to just suburban area, because they're working from home and everything like that. They take into account the increased interest rates, buyer competition, home affordability, and home prices. So that's all wrapped in here. So which is really good for us looking to wholesale in a specific market. All right, so number 1 is Tampa, Florida. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but Tampa, Florida is a hot market. Florida, as you all know, a lot of people are moving there because of low taxes, just the ease for investors, the landlord-friendly state for people to, have rentals, have Airbnbs and other things like that. The combined market growth is 16.4%, median home price $360, and population growth over 20% from 2010 to 2020. That's crazy. I mean, it's one of the best places to retire. Realtor.com expects to see 9.6% growth in sales. So let's see Jacksonville, Florida. So Jacksonville, Florida is the next one. It's number 2. It sees a combined market growth of 12.7. It's a little bit lower than Tampa. I actually have family out in Jacksonville, Florida, but the median home price is $280, which is lower than Tampa. So if you're looking for a more affordable place in Florida, you can check out Jacksonville. But the cost of living is relatively low. They have good beaches and other things like that. And you guys, Florida is on this list, right? So it's like, if you all are a wholesaler in Florida, you should be making a killing. It may be super competitive, but there's probably a lot of hedge fund buyers and flippers out there trying to take advantage of the high demand in these places. So next we have Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh, it's crazy because North Carolina just exploded on the map. I noticed because, I don't know, like a few years ago, it wasn't even that much, but look at the median home price is now $385,000, which is kind of high for a southern city, right? It just keep on increasing. Population growth increase. A lot of young professional unemployment rate is lower than the national average there. Just these warm weather places. People say, hey, I'm working from home. I want somewhere warmer, somewhere where my taxes are not hit as dramatically as in the north or on the west coast and other places like this. And we'll see if we see a city in the west coast. If there's a city in the west coast, let me know down below, which city do you think will be on here, or a city in the north or the northeast somewhere. Let me know. But yeah, Raleigh, North Carolina is number 3. Number 4, we have San Antonio, Texas. You all know Texas will be on the list, right? You all probably already guessed this, but yeah, San Antonio, Texas, their median home price is only $267. Like, I find that alarming. I feel like it would be a little bit higher, like closer to 300. And right now, I'm in the market of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and recently it just went over $300,000 for the medium home price, or medium home sold, or medium home value, which is crazy. Because literally a few years ago, I could have gotten a house. I should have, but it's all good. And what do you all think will happen to cause these prices to go down? Let me know, because interest rates are increasing, but these prices are not decreasing, right? Like, literally, I submitted some offers on some houses, and like a week difference, like my percentage of my APR just went up dramatically. I'm like, oh my goodness, what in the world? But yeah, San Antonio, Texas, a very affordable place, a lot of growth. Yeah, and Texas is just so investor friendly, and no state income tax and everything like that. So number 4, San Antonio, Texas. Number 5, we're back to North Carolina, and we're at Charlotte. So Raleigh had a median home price of $385. Charlotte has 370. It has a huge population growth, combined market growth. They said 2022 sales growth dropped for Raleigh from last year from 13.8 to 9.9, but the price growth will remain relatively the same, 5.6. So people do see sales going down in 2022 compared to 2021, maybe because of the interest rates, and maybe people already got their houses, right? And there's just a few left wanting to get houses. No, that's not true. But I think it's very interesting that in North Carolina, and 2 of them are in Florida, 1 in Texas. If you're wholesaling in North Carolina, Florida, or Texas, you should be set. All right. These are really great markets. A lot of flippers there. At the same time, it may be uber competitive because a lot of wholesalers know that, and they're probably in that area. All right. So next, let's go to Nashville, Tennessee. Now, Nashville, Tennessee, surprisingly, a lot of people think it's cheap to live in Nashville. That is not true. You see, the median home value is $422,000, the highest one so far that we see on the list. And I think there's this common misconception that in Nashville or Tennessee, like, everything's cheap. That's not true, especially Nashville. But Nashville, Tennessee, no state income tax. It's just a vibe in Tennessee. I think Tennessee is at a right place. It's not like too south. It's kind of in the middle, right? Nashville to Chicago is like a 6-hour, 7-hour drive. Nashville is a decent place, and you can get some huge, fat, juicy wholesale deals in Nashville. Okay, Atlanta, Georgia, 402. So Atlanta has a high medium home price also. So, as these larger cities in the southern states have obviously higher medium home value. I think recently they said that Atlanta, Georgia finally crossed a certain point where it wasn't an affordable city anymore, or something like that. For ages, it's always been that city in the South, like, yo, Atlanta, so many great things, plus it's affordable. But now the affordability of Atlanta, Georgia, I don't think it's there anymore, honestly. But yeah, Atlanta, Georgia is another huge place. So Phoenix, Arizona, interesting. So far, that's the highest medium home value. And, all the gurus are in Phoenix. And, I made a video probably last week about the new bill that was passed in Phoenix, Arizona. So there may be more legislation around wholesaling and maybe a licensing type of policy or something there. Orlando, Florida. This is the 3rd market in Florida. Austin, Texas. So that's the 2nd market in Texas, because we have San Antonio. Seattle, Washington. Boom. So there it is, you all. This is the very first city that's not in the South, right? We had Texas, North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas. But this is the first eastern state, and it's in the state of Washington. Washington is super high, but people were buying houses in Washington last year, and especially during the pandemic, because the prices were super low, but their median home value is super high. But yeah, predictions put Seattle sales up by 9.6 year over year, and their price increased 7.5. All right. So now as we go lower down the list, we have these higher price areas. So we have Boston, and yeah, Boston is another city. So if you guys guessed either Seattle, Washington, or Boston, hey, congrats. You have Salt Lake City, Utah, we heard about that. Denver, Colorado, number 15. What do you all think? I don't even know. I'm thinking it's going to go back to the South. Maybe another city in Texas, maybe like Houston or Dallas. We'll see. Oh, Boise, Idaho. Okay. Boise, Idaho. So you had some of these, I guess, mountain time cities towards the end. So these are the 15 hottest markets according to realtor.com, what they projected to be for this year. They looked at their data from 2021, all their housing sales and everything like that, and just the projection of interest rates and other things like that. But yeah. All right, so let me know what you all think. Does this data even mean anything to you all? I think it means a lot. You know, it shows that these are the cities that they are thriving with new opportunities for people to move in and to make money. At the same time, it may be uber competitive. Maybe you can go to these cities, but look at the surrounding areas, right? Like we looked at, for example, Charlotte, or we looked at Atlanta. You know, maybe in Atlanta, you can look at the surrounding areas around Atlanta, right? Or these other cities in Florida, right? Because there's small pockets of cities around the larger city that investors still buy and invest in. So maybe you can consider wholesaling those options. All right, hope you all enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll talk to you all later.